Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this. Well, this is the second part. We've done this one. This is part two. He's having trouble. He wants to engrave this wheat and cut out the letters. I'm not totally understand if he wants, how he wants to cut these out, if he wants them around the wheat or the wheat in them or what, but we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to take this first wheat. And if we look, it's got a 2mm line. Turn it to a hairline. Makes a big difference. Now we got some CMYK. You really need to make that RGB on your lines. If you're an engraver, not so much in red, but in black, you'll be really a lot happier. So what we could do is take that and right-click No Outline, and there's your wheat, ready to engrave. Now do the same thing on that. This one is quite a bit thicker because let's look, he's got a 2mm outline around it. So if you wanted this thicker, we could make a 2mm outline around it in black, and now it's thicker like the other one. So that's all going to engrave. Now, just like the other one, let's take this. This is a 2mm line. We need to make it a hairline and make it red. Now, let's see how this thing is 12 inches. My nudge factor is still set on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill in the E, the M, the E, the R, and the Y. So look what it did to the letters where the wheat is. Okay? That's not really going to work. So what we need to do, I mean, that's too much of a rough cut. So what I would do is I would take my wheat, and matter of fact, let's move the wheat out of the way for just a second. And let's go to Object and break the curve apart. See how it turned it all black? So that's not really what we want, but what we're going to do is we're going to make a duplicate and move it over, and we're going to turn this one and break the curve apart. Now, right here is your boundary tool. We're going to create a boundary around it. We'll move the boundary, I guess, up. And that's our boundary around the wheat. But we don't want those jagged corners. So we're going to go to Effects and Contour. I'm going to contour this time in red and use RGB. I don't know why Corel does that sometimes. So I'm going to contour in red, and you can see the contour line. Now, we're not really far enough out, so let's back up here and change this to, let's say, 0.4. I didn't have it clicked. Well, I backed up, so I put it to white. And I don't know why Corel does that sometimes. There we go. See how the contour is a lot bigger? So now let's do this. Let's take and go up to Object and break the contour apart. Now take this wheat, the contour, and move it over to our letters. And then when we take the Smart Fill tool, I'm going to have to go up, up, up. Now, see the difference in the shape of the cut? That'll actually work. But then we need to bring our wheat, our original wheat, back in. And which one was it? There it is. See how it's got an outline around, or a thinner object? So that is going to, well, when we bring the letters back in, let's do this one the same way. Let's take our wheat and move it over. Let's hit the plus key on the keyboard and move it over. And then on this one, we'll break. See, there's no weld tools available. Now we can do it another way. We can go to shaping and weld, or not weld, boundary, and we didn't have to do that other stuff. Now it did it in black, but we can move the boundary down and then contour like we did on the other one to the outside. Go up to Object, break the contour apart, grab that one. We got the red one now, move it over, and we can take the R and move it up. Whoop. And the Y and move it up. And then let's take this wheat away, bring in our original wheat, which I think is that one. Just nudge it right back over. Take all these letters and delete them. We've got this already a hairline. Take these and put no fill, right click outline and make sure it's a hairline. And then put that right back. Now those letters will cut around that wheat. That's pretty cool. I'm hoping that's what he was wanting. And just always make sure that when you're going to cut something, and see, you're working with CMYK, you need to change it to RGB. And, that's pretty easy. Just hit F12 on your keyboard, go to graphics, and I draw in hairline all the time, and my color is going to be RGB. If you're an engraver, especially in black, but we want RGB red, and then press OK. And now every time when you draw something, it is going to be an RGB red hairline. And the difference there is, let's make 2 cubes and turn this one into black. In engraving, and let's make a duplicate of that. And let's go to Tools. No, go to Windows, Color Palettes, and open a CMYK. And now we got 2 colors, and this is black CMYK. So we're going to make that black, CMYK black. And let's take away the outline on both of them. And look at the difference between the 2 colors. Well, you can't really, let me make sure I did it right. That's a CMYK, that's a CMYK. Let's make this one an RGB. Look at the difference in the black. The RGB is quite a bit blacker than a CMYK black. Now, the reds, it probably doesn't matter, but as an engraver, so like here is your CMYK, just go right here and close it. Now you're only working, and then go up to Tools, have this at 00. I'd actually 001 and make sure some other things, and then go to Tools and save as default. I'm not going to save it, but that's how you do it. And then every time you open Corel. So that is pretty cool. I think he's going to be happy with that. Anyway, I hope that helped them, and thank you for watching.